Dreams have fascinated philosophers for thousands of years. It has been subjected to empirical research and concentrated scientific study for a long time. People often find themselves puzzling over the mysterious content of a dream, or wondered why you dream at all? Do we actually travel to some other dimension? Hit the bell icon and subscribe for answers to more such inquisitive thoughts. Now just sit back and enjoy the video till the very end. What are dreams? Dreams are stories and images our mind creates while we sleep. It can be vivid, make you happy, sad, or scared. And they may seem confusing or perfectly rational. It depends whether you are in the lucid or wakening stage. In the lucid stage, we are so aware of it that it almost seems real, and the best part is that we can control it. It is like being in a video game where you can choose what happens. It is believed that if you go to bed with a troubling thought, you may wake with a solution, or at least feel better about the situation. As we try to make possible solutions and play the situations in our heads. Despite all the studies and experiments, the question of why do we dream remains mysterious. But what we do know is dreams can occur anytime during sleep. But most vivid dreams occur during deep REM, rapid eye movement, sleep when the brain is most active. According to neurologists, we dream at least 4 to 6 times per night. How does it help you? Many experts say that dreams exist to help solve problems in our lives, incorporate memories, process emotions. Sigmund Freud, the Austrian neurologist and founder of psychoanalysis, believed that dreams are a window into our subconscious. He believed dreams reveal a person's unconscious desires, thoughts, motivations. Freud thought dreams were a way for people to satisfy urges and desires that were unacceptable to society. Lack of dreams could cause increased tension, anxiety, depression, difficulty concentrating, lack of coordination, weight gain, tendency to hallucinate. Some researchers believe dreaming has no meaning or purpose and is just the nonsensical activity of the sleeping brain. Few who say that dreams help us remember our past experiences by turning them into long-term memories. While people have not been able to find a plausible reason as to why and how we dream, there are plenty of fascinating hypotheses about it. Number 1. The supernatural theory. This is mostly the predicted future or the warning or signs of do's and don'ts. People start believing as they relate any happenings to the signs in the dream. For example, a lady in her dream was once told that she won't have to start worrying about a new place as she won't be transferred. In a few days, her transfer order was cancelled as someone else was hired for the job. This is called precognition dreaming. It can be a mere coincidence, but you have predicted it before, so it does raise a lot of questions. Here have been many such cases where people claimed to dream about something that has actually happened days or months later. Most of them were personal, but some were about others. A few famous ones are the ones like some people say they had dreamt days, months, and even years before 9/11. Almost visualizing a similar attack to what happened on that terrible day. David Booth reportedly had many nightmares of an American Airlines plane crash in 1997. He even contacted the company to tell them of his nightmares, but they did not really believe him then. That year American Airlines Flight 191 crashed in almost the same fashion David had been seeing in his dreams. There was this one where the most famous is Abraham Lincoln, one who had a dream on the 12th of April 1865 that he was walking up to a body in his dream. That was covered in a funeral vestment. When he asked who it was, a man said the president. He was killed by an assassin after having this dream. Abraham told a few people about it before being assassinated 3 days later. And it makes one wonder if the future somehow is pushed onto us whilst we are sleeping. Perhaps from another world or higher power our lives are mapped out, and our dreams occasionally allow us to see that. What do you think? Many ideas were born in sleep. Talking about a few famous ones like Christopher Nolan, who got the inspiration for the thrilling movie Inception through his lucid dreams. Larry Page came up with Google. Tesla came up with the alternating current generator, and Stephenie Meyer had a dream that she wrote down upon waking that eventually spawned into the famous Twilight series. Most of Stephen King's work, the best horror novelist, wrote his ideas from the dreams he saw. Now, this could be down to something innocent like us already having those ideas in our minds that I just brought forward when dreaming. Number 2. Physiological dream theory. These theories suggest that dreams are nothing but the results of rudimentary activities in the brain cortex which reflect impressions of the previous day. Number 3. Wish fulfillment theory or attempted wish fulfillment theory. Sigmund Freud theories stated and explained in his book that mostly deals with studies on the dreams are disguised fulfillments of repressed wishes. In his book, Interpretation of Dreams, we express wishes rarely and under unusual circumstances. Most adult dreams appear senseless, disconnected, disorganized, fragmentary. Number 4. Garbage collection theory. The reverse learning theory. This idea suggests that we dream to get rid of undesirable connections and associations that build up in our brains throughout the day. Dreams help us eliminate the information overload of daily life and retain only important data. Number 5. Problem solving theory. Revenesuo, Harvard medical researcher, experimented on people. While sleeping, they were asked to solve problems. We can solve problems more effectively than when we are awake mildly because the mind makes connections faster than the waking mind does. Number 6. Oniric Darwinism. To create new ideas through partial random generation, which can then be retained if judged useful. Dreams introduce random variations into psychic life and internal narratives. They produced new kinds of thoughts, imaginations, self-awareness, and other psychic functions. This is one way we figure out the best way to react to situations emotionally. Number 7. Stimulus response theory of dream. This theory stresses the relationship between brain changes during sleep and changes in perceptual efficiency. Some disturbing stimuli force activity into one portion of the cerebral cortex with corresponding changes in a dream. Such a theory of dream in the line affects the sensory stimulation upon the dream content. The stimulus response theory also recognizes the fact that those desires are not satisfied in reality. Encoding short-term memories into long-term storage. Gathering from what we have learned when recent studies on theory. When people go to sleep right after a traumatic experience, they are more likely to remember and be haunted by the trauma. So one form of triage is to keep them awake and talking for several hours, even if they are exhausted, to prevent this traumatic memory consolidation. Threat simulation. The biological function of dreaming is to simulate threatening events and to rehearse threat perception and avoidance. Why do we have nightmares? This is a common question for a lot of people. Having a nightmare can be a terrifying experience, and the first few minutes, everything that happens seems so real and scary. It is interesting to note that a study showed over 50% of children under 15 will experience nightmares. There is some idea behind why this happens? Children's nightmares are believed to be heavily influenced by things that have taken place in the day, a scary film, being bullied in school, or a distressing event. Most children grow out of these nightmares, but for some adults, it still occurs regularly. It is thought to be caused by such a wide range of things that it is impossible to find the exact source. Conditions like depression or anxiety can excessively rate our likelihood of a nightmare, and studies on blind people have shown that they have more nightmares. But in our dreams, so by addressing things that are troubling us in the day will help us prevent potentially terrifying nightmares. Some people suggest when dreaming, your mind is transported to another world or universe. Where these ideas will be planted into our minds sounds crazy. Signing off. Keep dreaming. And do comment down below about any dream you ever had, a dream that had a massive impact on your life.